Find yourself getting triggered and wondering how to overcome anger? Stay tuned for my secrets. My name is Tiffany Toombs. I'm a high-performance mindset coach that has worked with thousands of people across the world to help them let go of emotional baggage and triggers so that they can step into their truest, most authentic version of themselves. In this video, I'm going to share with you what we can learn from the emotion of anger. I'm also going to tell you what we can learn about ourselves from the things and the people that trigger us. And finally, I'm going to share 3 powerful ways that you can overcome anger right now. All of our emotions exist to tell us or teach us something. The emotion anger tells us that we have lost out in some sort of battle or competition, that we fell short in reaching our goal, and that the strategy that we were using is not working. Anger also tells us that somebody crossed our boundary, or that we were mistreated or treated in a way that doesn't serve us or that doesn't empower us. Anger is also an emotion that we feel when we feel disappointed by ourselves or something that somebody else does, and it tells us that change is needed. Ultimately, anger exists for a reason, and when we clear out the emotional baggage attached to anger, it doesn't mean that anger will never come up in the future. It means that when anger comes up in the future, we need to learn from it. Was it that the strategy that we were using didn't work and we missed out on our goal or missed out on a challenge? What change do we need to make there in order to attain that goal? Was it that somebody crossed our boundary, and what is the boundary that we need to set? What's the change that we need to make in our relationship with that person? What did we disappoint ourselves with, and how can we find self-forgiveness to let go of that anger emotion? If we choose not to learn from the emotions that we experience, we'll never truly be able to heal, and we'll always be a victim of the reactions to those emotions. So it's best to learn from the emotions. What are they wanting to tell us so that we can truly move forward without them? Before I share with you what you can learn about yourself from the people and the things that trigger you, I want to hear from you. Looking back on times that you felt angry in the past, was it that you missed out on a goal? Was it that somebody crossed your boundary? Or were you disappointed in yourself? What can you learn from that anger emotion that you've experienced in the past? Go to the comments below and let me know. Now, we can learn a lot from the things and the people that create this trigger or this anger within us. There's a concept in NLP called perception is projection. And this means that our external world is just a reflection of our internal world. And when something external to us triggers us, it's signaling to us a change that we need to make in our life. Now, there's 4 ways that perception is projection works. The first is direct. So let's say somebody is bullying me. Direct perception is projection means that the behavior that is triggering me, that somebody else is doing to trigger me, is what I'm doing to somebody else. So perception is projection shows us the piece of ourself that we have yet to heal or that we don't like about ourselves. So maybe I get bullied at work and then I go home and I talk down to my husband or I talk down to my kids. So that is a direct perception is projection. It's a direct trigger. If you know for sure that you do not do the behavior to other people that somebody is doing to you, then the second way that we would look at perception as projection is back on self. This was my challenge for a really long time. I had a lot of people bullying me, but I knew for a fact I wasn't bullying other people. But if you were to look at what my self-talk looked like before I went through my healing journey, I was my own biggest bully. So if you know for sure that you're not doing the behavior to somebody else, look at how are you treating yourself? Are you treating yourself in the way that these other people are treating you? If so, then the trigger is telling you that you need to work on your inner relationship with who you are and how you treat yourself. The third way that perception as projection works is symbolic. So our unconscious mind is very symbolic. This is why movies are so powerful for us. Whoever the hero in the movie is, we see as being ourselves. So in symbolic perception as projection, the behaviors are different, but the intention driving the behavior is similar. So maybe you are triggered by somebody who is a passenger seat driver. They're sitting in the passenger seat saying to you, oh, you need to turn your signal light on. You can drive a little bit faster. Oh, watch out. right? Those people who are always telling you how to drive. Maybe that really triggers you. And you know that you don't passenger seat drive other people and you don't passenger seat drive yourself. That would be very interesting to do. So it might be symbolic. Maybe you go into the office and you micromanage your team. It's a different behavior, but ultimately the intention behind the behaviors are the same. They're both about control and ultimately feeling safe in the situation. The fourth way that perception is projection works is that it's showing you an unhealed wound. Maybe you meet somebody or you just see them from across the room and you become triggered by the way that they have styled their hair or the clothes that they're wearing or just the mannerisms that they have. And you decide, I don't like that person. If you're triggered by somebody that you've never really met or that you don't really know, it might be because that person is reminding you of a person or an experience that you had with a person that you still have emotional baggage with. When you heal that emotional baggage, that trigger will no longer be there. So sometimes the things that trigger us show us unhealed wounds. So when you take time to look at the things and the people who trigger you, you can learn a lot about the inner work that you need to do on yourself. Now, before I share with you my 3 powerful tools for overcoming anger, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel. I am putting out brand new content every single week to help you master your mind, let go of emotional baggage, so you can step into the best version of yourself. So go ahead and click that subscribe button below and like this video while you're there. There are 3 ways that I recommend using to overcome your anger, and you'll use each one in a different situation. Let's say you're holding on to anger from somebody from an event that you experienced, or maybe it's a breakup. Go ahead and write this person a letter. Put all the negative emotion that you feel to this person in the letter, and then you're going to burn it. Now, disclaimer, please use fire safety when you're burning it. Myself, Tiffany Toombs, my business, Blue Lotus Mind Institute, and anybody associated with my company is not responsible for any personal injury or property damage that occurs, so please use fire safety. The second thing that you can do is heal the inner child who is holding on to that anger. The first time that we experience anger in life, let's say that's when you're 2 years old, your mom took you to the toy store and wouldn't buy you the toy that you wanted. That 2-year-old you did not have the ability to deal with that emotion. They didn't understand it. They didn't have the resources. So you created an imprint in your psyche of anger at 2 years old. Now, throughout your life, that imprint has added links onto the chain. It's like building up pressure. So now when you respond to a situation where you're angry, you're not just responding from the anger in that situation, but a lifetime of anger that has built up. When we heal those inner children, we allow them to express and experience that emotion, we give them the resources that they need in order to let go of that emotion, we can make profound change in how anger shows up in our adult life. The third way to overcome anger is to forgive yourself. Oftentimes, we are quick to forgive everybody else who has wronged us or who has made us angry, and we forget about forgiving ourselves. You are a human being. You are a spiritual being in a human meat suit. You are here to make mistakes and mess things up and have quote unquote failures as a way to learn. We learn through failure and mistakes. When you were a child, you didn't just hop up the first time and start walking. You learned how to walk by falling over. That taught you how to balance yourself. So go back and learn the lessons that you need from each of the challenges and obstacles and mistakes you've made, and then forgive yourself and have compassion for yourself for being a human being. Now, if you're ready to truly let go of anger and to take this healing to the next level, I would love to invite you to join me in the 6-day Mind Mastery Challenge. This 6-day challenge is totally free. You can join anytime you want, and I'm going to share with you 6 more powerful exercises and worksheets that you can use to overcome imposter syndrome, fear, emotional baggage, and more. All you have to do to get instant access to the challenge is go to nlpworksheet.com or click on the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching.